Nigeria's population growth stands at 3.2%, which, if sustained, the population could hit over 400 million by 2050. The challenge here is the pressure it will have on public utilities. Available evidence shows that Nigeria is still far from attaining global targets in the areas of education and health. How can Nigeria harness the potentials in these population figures? My guest is from the United Nations Populations Fund. Hello there, welcome to Dateline Abuja. I'm Gloria Umezuki. Demographic dividend is simply the economic growth potential that can result from shifts in a population's age structure. Economists have argued that demographic dividend is responsible for 25 to 40% of the economic transformation experienced by the East Asian tigers, and Nigeria can take a cue from this. In our interview, we'll be looking at how possible that is. But first, what are the stories that made headlines within the week in the nation's capital?
The life and legacies of former United Nations Secretary General were celebrated at a memorial organized in his honor in Abuja. The memorial was organized by the United Nations system in Nigeria in collaboration with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the High Commission of Ghana in Nigeria.
We have much to celebrate in him, and I'm confident that his legacy of selfless service and commitment to human dignity and global peace will not be forgotten by the international community.
Meanwhile, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Mr. Geoffrey Onyama, has been critical of the role played by Switzerland in the repatriation of stolen funds from Nigeria. Nigeria recently repatriated $321 million as part of the Abacha loot from Switzerland.
We got some money back from Switzerland, but my God, when you look at the details, I was shocked and extremely angry at the process of recovery, because you see the percentage of the money that eventually came back to us that was paid out to all kinds of institutions in Switzerland, to lawyers, to this, to that, percentages of huge sums of money. And I said, but this is daylight robbery. This is daylight robbery, that these countries are perpetrating.
President Muhammadu Buhari has formally received an audited report on all assets recovered in the first half of his tenure. President Buhari inaugurated the committee on the 22nd of November 2017 with a mandate to carry out a holistic audit of all recovered assets from May 29, 2015 to the date of the inauguration of the committee.
We must utilize proceeds of our recoveries optimally to address our economic and social problems, and loopholes for stealing public funds must be blocked. To this end, let me assure Nigerians that the findings and recommendations of the committee would be carefully examined and given due consideration with a view to implementing the recommendations. Our asset recovery and management system will in future be transparently, effectively, and efficiently managed, and we will set out a fresh template of public accountability in the country.
The Federal Executive Council has approved 3 bills for passage by the National Assembly. The bills, which include the amended Electoral Act 2018, seek to enhance the country's electoral process and entrench accountability in the conduct of elections.
3 fundamental bills that were formulated: the Electoral Offences Commission and Tribunal Establishment Bill, the Electoral Act Amendment Bill 2018, which is a bill that seeks to make certain amendments to the Electoral Act with a view to enhance the accountability and the quality of the conduct of the election was put in place. And then the constitutional amendment, alteration amendment bill as well was equally proposed to ensure at the end of the day certain constitutional amendments as it relates to the conduct of the election.
President Muhammadu Buhari has submitted his nomination and expression of interest form at the National Secretariat of the All Progressive Congress. The form was purchased for the president by a group known as the National Consolidation Ambassadors Network, NCAN.
I am taking this step with all humility, sense of responsibility, and an unquestionable desire to serve and protect the interests of all Nigerians. If nominated and if elected, I shall continue to serve you to the best of my ability. Let me today appeal to party members not to be complacent, but to prepare, strategize, and win 2019 election. We must not allow those who brought the country to its knees from 1999 to 2015 to come and take us back.
The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission will be watching the campaign spending in the build-up to the 2019 general elections. Addressing news editors in Abuja, the acting chairman of the commission, Mr. Ibrahim Magu, said that the commission will partner with the Independent National Electoral Commission to address the rising cases of vote buying.
With our modest achievement in this area, I can assure you that our politicians will be more circumspect as we go into the next general election. And our people have all to gain in this process of disinfecting the electoral process by monitoring the finances of election, because it will help to improve good governance when good candidates are elected, not money bags.
Over 9.2 million children from 26 states have benefited from the federal government's school feeding program. Vice President Professor Yemi Oshibajo disclosed this at a conference organized by the United Nations Population Fund.
Where, in answer to malnutrition and stunting, feeding over 9.2 million children in public primary schools daily in now 25 and this month to 26 states. We have now employed directly under our NPower program 500,000 graduates, and we're giving microcredit to over 2 million petty traders in every state of Nigeria.
The Minister of Labour and Productivity, Senator Chris Ngige, has described the 14 days ultimatum issued by the Nigeria Labour Congress over the new minimum wage as blackmail and an attempt to intimidate government. Addressing a news conference in Abuja, Senator Ngige said that organized labour cannot apply force and threat during negotiation, as it contravenes the International Labour Organization conventions and the Nigerian labour laws.
I have regarded the ultimatum as a subtle blackmail and an attempt to intimidate, which is not allowed by the various conventions of the International Labour Organization and Nigerian labour laws. The organized labour should wait. We are doing our consultations. We gave them a time frame within which we think these consultations will yield fruits, but no attempt should be made to blackmail or intimidate any of the partners.
A delegation of Ogoni leaders visited President Muhammadu Buhari at the presidential villa. The Ogoni leaders were led by the President, Supreme Council of Ogoni Traditional Rulers, His Royal Majesty King Godwin Giniwa of Benemene Thai Kingdom.
If the water in the land are polluted, the majority of our people there, are virtually being starved because they cannot fish, because the fish wouldn't be there. They cannot farm because nothing can grow there. So please appeal to the exuberant youth to cooperate with the government and the international community to give the opportunity for those who are conducting the cleaning up. This is a priority which I think you as the elite, the leadership of
of the community should emphasize and make and demonstrate your control over the youth.